Hello. Just a little bit of coaching on the 5 lesson plan progression. I think that many of you are getting into writing those lesson plans, and hopefully Screencast B as well as your block plans are really getting you set up to do that work. Okay, now good question from one of your colleagues about the rationale. How do you write the rationale in the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday lesson plan? All right. Take a look at the Screencast B, and it talks a little bit about that rationale, but there's a very specific description right here in the evaluation checklist for the 5 lesson plan progression. So let's look at this really quickly, and I want to make one slight adaptation to what I'm going to ask you to do. All right, so this is not in place of what you saw on Screencast B. I'm just amplifying that little coaching moment here, okay? All right, so on each lesson plan, you will write a rationale. See right here under number 2 on the evaluation checklist that you have. Okay, so Tuesday through Friday's lesson plan will include a rationale that tells why you're teaching that particular lesson at that particular time in the progression. So let's say on Monday, for many of you, Monday, you're doing some kind of sound-focused sort, right? And then on Tuesday, many of you are moving into some kind of reading-focused sort, unless you're teaching a short vowel, and then you're usually doing that cut and paste sort to help kids learn how to read the word. Okay, so if on Monday I did a sound sort, that means on the Tuesday's lesson plan rationale, I have to explain, well, why am I having the kids do what I'm doing today? How does it relate or build on what I did the day before? Do you see how this works? So when you're doing a rationale for not just a standalone lesson plan, but for a sequence of lessons, whatever lesson you're planning, so if you're planning Tuesday, in the rationale, you look back at Monday and say, here's why I think we're ready and need to do the work that I have planned for Tuesday. So on this checklist, Tuesday through Friday's lesson plan should include a rationale that discusses why this lesson at this point in the progression. So on Wednesday, why am I having kids write the spelling words? Why are they ready for that? What happened Tuesday and Monday that lets me know that they're ready for that? Be sure to explain in the Tuesday through Friday lesson rationale how the present lesson relates to and builds on what you taught the day before. So just explain, here's why we're doing it this way. Now that goes for Tuesday through Friday, okay? So what do we do about Monday? It says here, Monday's rationale should explain why you are starting with the learning objective you selected. So on that Monday lesson plan, you're going to say, well, why are you teaching whatever your phonics feature is? And this is the place, only on that Monday lesson plan, where you're going to list the standard. You're going to say, well, I'm picking this because it's a good standard for second graders. So list the standard. And you're also, it says here that you're going to discuss data. So I'm sorry, this is something I didn't catch. Usually when we do this in the face-to-face version of this class, I give you a class-wide set of DSA data, and we score it, and we create a class sheet, right? So that you can talk about data. But I couldn't figure out a way to replicate that little move of data analysis for us. So here's what I want you to do on your checklist, right here on number 2, where it says Monday's rationale should explain why you are starting with the learning objective you have selected. You're still going to put the standard in there. You're still going to put the standard. What's the standard? You found that on your block plan, right? So you're going to put the standard in there for Monday. And then maybe could you make a statement as to, hypothetically, if you were going to teach vowel consonant E, you would probably be doing that because children have already learned, these letter name stage features, right? So this is going to be sort of a fictional turn, right? We don't have actual data to look at. So instead of writing, well, I'm teaching this lesson plan because Carrie told me to, what I want you to do is say, okay, if I'm teaching abstract vowel OO, I might say something like, yeah, students are ready for abstract vowel OO because they've really already learned their short vowels and their long vowels, and so they're ready for a more complicated vowel that is neither long or short. Yeah? If I'm teaching the complex consonant TCH, I might say, you know what, here's the standard, and I'm going to teach this lesson because kids already know CH from the letter name stage, and I know they already know short vowels and long vowels, which will be important when we're talking about when you use TCH. So what I'm asking you to do for this number 2 piece, on Monday, you know what to do for Tuesday through Friday, but on Monday, I want you to say, okay, here's the standard. This is why I'm teaching this whole unit of lessons. But to think about what you would say, why would you pick the target that you were given, right? You would pick it because kids already know, and tell me a couple of things that you would see would be important for kids to already know. So again, we don't have actual data to relate to, but we can relate it to the concepts that you know. Let's think of one more example. And this is an easy one because I don't think any of you have it. Okay. So let's do this together. Let's say you were assigned to teach the blend BR, okay? All right. You could say on Monday, okay, I'm going to teach the blend BR, and we know a standard that we could put for that. What is it that you would want or expect kids to know before you could teach the BR? What would they already have to have learned? So before you're going to teach the blend BR, you better hope they already know B and R, right? Because when you teach the blend, you're putting those two consonant sounds together. So it would be really impossible to teach BR, the blend, without them knowing the B and the R. So in that rationale for Monday, if I was teaching B and R, the BR blend, I could say, okay, I'm teaching the BR blend. It's a second grade level phonics feature. And I know my students are ready for this because they already know the B and they already know the R. So if you want to give yourself a little sentence starter here to help with that Monday rationale, right here in the Monday rationale, just put the words, I know my students are ready for this because they already know, and tell me what they should already know. Does that make sense? Again, the sentence starter would be, I know my students are ready for this because they already know, and then tell me what you would need to see kids already know in order to teach the phonics feature that you have on tap. I know that's a little complex, right? It's actually easier to be able to look at data and then say, oh yeah, these kids need to learn the blend BR because they already know the B and the R, they know some short vowels, they're ready to go, right? And I'm asking you to kind of go backwards. Oh, you're assigned the BR. Tell me what you would want to see these kids already know in order to do that work. If this is not helpful, if this is not clarifying this for you, send me an email and I'll either work with you individually, or if I have confused the entire lot of you, I will try this again in another format. So in terms of rationale, you're still doing what's outlined on the screencast B, but this is just a little bit of coaching to reflect the specific requirements on the evaluation criteria. Thank you for the team of students who noticed this and brought it to my attention so that we could all kind of think about it together. All right, good luck.